Is your Windows 11 PC using too much RAM, too many background processes, too many unnecessary apps and services? You don't need to reinstall Windows every time. In this video, I will show you how to clean up and optimize Windows 11 step by step. At the end, we will compare the system before and after optimization. Windows 11 comes with many features, apps, services, and background tasks. Some of them are useful, some of them may not be necessary for your particular PC. The problem is that most users don't know what they can safely change. That's why we are gonna take more controlled approach. Instead of changing everything blindly, we will review the important optimization categories and choose only the settings that actually make sense for our PC. Let's get started. Before making major Windows changes, create a restore point or backup. And remember, optimization is not the same as disabling everything. A service that looks unnecessary may still be required by a program, driver, or Windows feature. So don't select every option just because it sounds faster. Choose settings based on what you actually need. For the cleanest results, it's also better to start with a fresh Windows installation. First, let's clean up unnecessary application. Open Settings, Apps, Installed Apps. Now go through the list. Look for applications you don't use. For example, old utilities, manufacturer apps you don't need, unused launchers, trail software, duplicate applications. Don't remove something just because you don't recognize its name. If you're unsure, leave it alone and research it first. The next step is Startup Apps. Open Settings, Apps, Startup. Here you will see the applications that can start automatically with Windows, and this is important. You don't need every application running immediately after turning on your PC. Disable startup for apps you don't need right away. For example, an application that you only use once or twice a day doesn't necessarily need to start with Windows. Fewer unnecessary startup apps can mean a cleaner startup experience. Now let's look at background activity. Open Task Manager, go to Process tab. Here you can see which applications are using CPU, memory, disk, and network. This is one of the best places to find what's actually slowing your PC down. Don't randomly end system processes. Instead, look for applications that you recognize and don't currently need. Next, let's clean temporary files. Open Settings, System, Storage, Temporary Files. Windows can store temporary files, update leftovers, caches, and other data over time. Review the categories carefully, then remove files that you don't need. You can also enable Storage Sense to let Windows automatically manage temporary files. This doesn't magically double your PC speed, but it can help keep your storage clean and prevent unnecessary files from building up. Now let's talk about visual effects. Windows uses animations, transparency, and other visual effects to make the interface look better. On a modern PC, these usually aren't a problem, but on an older or low-end computer, reducing unnecessary effects can make the interface feel more responsive. Open Advanced System Settings, Performance Settings. Here you can choose which usual effects Windows should use. For a performance-focused setup, choose the options you actually need. Don't sacrifice every usual effect just for a tiny performance difference. This is where things get more serious. Windows runs many background services. You may find guides online telling you to disable dozens of them. I don't recommend blindly following those lists. A service that looks unnecessary can be required by Windows features, hardware drivers, printers, Bluetooth, gaming software, security features, third-party applications. So before disabling a service, understand what it does. If you don't know what a service on your PC does, leave a comment below and I will do my best to help you understand it and solve the problem. Performance optimization should never come at the cost of system stability. Let's talk about Windows Update. Updates are important because they can include security fixes, bug fixes, driver improvements, and performance improvements. So I don't recommend permanently disabling Windows Update. If an update is causing a specific problem, it's better to troubleshoot that problem instead of disabling updates forever. A fast PC isn't useful if it's no longer receiving important security updates. Windows also includes optional features that many users never use. Go to Settings, System, Optional Features, review the installed components. If you know that you don't need a particular optional feature, you can remove it. But again, don't delete components simply because they exist. Some older applications and drivers may depend on specific Windows components. We finished the main optimization steps. Now it's time to restart the PC. Some Windows changes require a restart before they fully take effect. So let's restart the computer and then check the system again. After the restart, open Task Manager and go to the Performance tab. First, check memory usage. Before the restart, memory usage was around 46%. After the restart, it dropped to around 41%. Now let's check the CPU. After the restart, CPU usage only around 3%. And finally, check disk usage. The disk is currently at 0%, which means there is no heavy disk activity at this moment. These numbers show that the system is starting from a cleaner state after the restart. Keep in mind that these numbers can change depending on what is running in the background and what's the right way to optimize Windows 11. Not by disabling everything, not by installing dozens of suspicious PC booster applications, and not by blindly copying random registry tweaks. Instead, measure, clean, optimize, and test the result. If this guide helped you clean up your Windows 11 PC, make sure to subscribe to Easy PC Guide. More practical Windows and PC tutorials are coming. Thanks for watching, I will see you in the next video.